Hello out there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Apology Accepted podcast. I am your host, Latisha Monique, and I have the pleasure sitting with me today, Miss Vichelle Dixon-Trader. Woohoo! She is one of the upcoming co-authors for Hold the Line 4. And y'all, listen, we about to get all up in her business. We about to see what she about. We're about to see what she doing in these streets, everything. So without further ado, Miss Vichelle. Thank you so much for joining me as well.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Yes, I'm excited to be here and to do this.
Yeah,
Yes, this
the
is a
second
whole
time, y'all.
the
Don't
second.
don't
All
because
good.
we definitely started this thing and thought we was live and we was not. And so here we go again. That's just some transparency right there. Set the mood.
It's all good. It's all
Yeah.
good. But yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, tell us a little bit about yourself before we dive into this new journey that you're on with being a co-author.
Okay. Well, I am a wife. I've been married now for almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years next year, next April.
Wow,
Um,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. I'm also a mother of three amazing children. Two are grown now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I am also a grandma of four grandbabies.
Awesome.
Yes, two sets
Awesome.
of twins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my daughter has two sets of twins, three boys and a girl. And
The one child had two sets.
yes.
Wow. I just
Yeah,
want to make sure I
yeah.
was
No, it's okay. I know. It's like what? One of those things. But yes,
wow.
two sets. They're
Shout
like
out to
18
your
months
daughter.
apart too. Yeah, I know, right? Kudos to her. She's amazing with
Woo.
them. But hmm?
I said, okay.
Oh yeah.
Man.
I'm a loctician and an entrepreneur. Um Yes, I do locks and natural hair, and I've also developed a couple of products to go along with what I do to service my lock clients. So yeah, I developed hydrators and oils, which we all know we need those for our locks.
Absolutely. I was about to say, in me being here in the desert, I definitely need my locks hydrated often. So
I'm
I'm
gonna have
gonna
to
have
send
to
you
check those.
have to
Yes,
send you some.
check those products out.
Yes, for sure, for sure. But
Okay,
yeah,
you made these yourself.
I do.
Wow.
Yes, handmade with love. Yes,
Okay. And
yes.
so, how long have you a loctician? You decided, you know what, I want to do hair. Was it natural hair starting out, or you kind of just went towards natural hair?
I went towards natural hair. Yes, it wasn't always. I haven't actually been a hairstylist in a long time.
Okay.
So this is something that I ventured back into more recently, and I found my niche. Like when I was a stylist and I worked in a few salons before, early 2000s, like when I first got my license. I
Okay.
worked in a few salons, and I really wasn't finding my niche, what I really like to do. So I kind of went out of the world of doing hair into the corporate world and other things. But
Mm-hmm.
getting back into it, I did locks, did family and friends hair and stuff like that. But the locks and the natural hair is what really stuck with me, and
Okay.
doing research on how to really take care of it. And that was a piece that I found a lot of people needed help with, was learning how
Yes.
to embrace their natural.
That
Yeah,
this is important.
yes it is. Yeah, because a lot of people want to embrace their hair, but
Mhm.
they don't really know how to take care of it and maintain it. So I wanted to help
I,
out with that.
I definitely agree with that because I have some people, they ask me, well, how often do you get your hair done? And
Hmm.
the number one question is always, how often do I get my hair done? And I say once a month, or every 6 to 8 weeks, right?
Mhm.
Just depending
Mhm.
on how everything falls. And so my son wanted to get into locks, and I was like, look, this is not the hairstyle for the neat all the time, because
Right.
you go twist your hair, the locks right out your head, you know. And so, because he was like, well, I just want mine to look fresh all the time.
All the time. Mhm.
No, this
Mm-mm. It don't work like that.
right, this
Yeah,
ain't
it's okay. That's how my husband was too. He's on his second lock journey. So his first lock, he was the same way. They supposed to be done every 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be doing.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter, this is her second go round with locks.
Okay.
I
Mhm.
started both of my daughters lock, but I didn't start them. Felicia Holmes out of Hopewell, she started both of theirs at the age of 4. They both started at the age of
Okay.
4.
Okay.
And my oldest daughter, she did not like getting her hair done, honey.
Mm.
And so that was an issue. And so we combed them out. We combed them
Oh,
out,
really?
but she really didn't like getting her hair done every week. Okay. And so
Okay.
that was a problem. And she came to me and said, can I get my locks back? And
Yes. I
I
know there are low key, low maintenance.
okay. I told her, I said, look, if I decide to allow you to get these back, then it ain't no combing them back out. Okay. Because it took us
Mm-hmm.
over like 30 days.
Really? Yeah.
Them out. I was like, no,
Yeah.
honey. And so, yes, the maintenance for locks is real, but I love mine. I wouldn't change it for the world
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
So,
Me
yeah, I'm gonna have
too.
to check out the products. Now, what's the name of your products?
For sure. I right now the name that I have on my products is the same as my salon, Locks of Love by Vichelle.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just
Did I
assigned
not
they
hear
have
that part? I heard you say entrepreneur. Okay. I heard you say lactation, but did I hear I have a salon? Did I hear that? I don't
yes.
think I heard that. So
Yes, you
I'm
heard
put them
that.
eyes to the thing. Put them eyes. What? A whole
Yeah.
salon?
Mhm.
Well, come
Yep.
on, hon. Are you accepting new clients? What is going on?
Absolutely. Absolutely am.
All right. There, you not in the Richmond area. You are in
I
what?
am in I'm in Delaware. I'm in Lower Delaware.
Lower Delaware.
Smyrna. So, like Dover area,
Okay, I've heard of that.
the
I'm not
capital.
too familiar with the Delaware area, but I have heard of that area. Okay.
Okay, yep. That's where I'm located.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Wonderful. Well, I know where your book's gonna be posted at. I know where they're gonna be. All right, cool. Well, I tell you what, you look absolutely amazing to be a grandma of 4.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
Entrepreneur, it is not easy being an entrepreneur. I know it is definitely not easy, but you definitely make it look easy. So thank
Oh,
you. So let's dive into this new journey you about to partake on as a co-author of Hold the Line. We
yes.
all know Miss Patty is wonderful. Okay, we know that. But how did you get connected with being a part of Volume 4?
Okay. Patty and I were friends on Facebook, and we actually have a mutual friend, Nikki. So, being I was into MLM a few years back into MLM. So I'm crazy on social media, just friending everyone. You know what I mean? Be friending everyone so they
Yeah.
can come and check out what I have to offer or whatever. But I'm not sure if that's how we got to be friends on Facebook or not with all of the befriending that I was doing. But I am in one of her groups. I think it's called Black Mothers.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
so she
That's
did.
it.
She that's the group, right? Black Mothers.
Hmm.
So she did a post asking if anyone was interested in becoming a co-author for Volume 4, and I saw it and I was just like, ooh,
What's this?
yeah, what's this? And this is something
Okay.
that I have been pondering over for a while, writing a book. Yes.
Okay.
So when she did that, I thought about it a little bit. And then, something I'm on this thing now. If I want to do it, I'm not holding off. I'm doing it right then and there. So I was,
Okay.
and I make myself. I have to make myself accountable, stick to whatever it is I say I'm gonna do. But
Yep, I understand.
exactly. So I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I want to do this. So I reached out to her and I just let her know I was interested, and
Mhm.
I attended the book launch for volume 3. Yep, I attended the book launch for volume 3. It was amazing. It was really really nice. And see, hence the shirt.
I see. Listen,
Hence the
I was
shirt.
like, I'm just gonna have to go and get all the other colors of the shirt because I feel left out. I ain't got all the colors, and I need all the colors. Okay,
What colors do you have?
I only have the black. And even though
Oh,
I
okay.
was a part of volume 1 and volume 2, I didn't make it to the launch for volume 2. And so I
Okay.
didn't get my shirt. I'm like, look, I got to go back and order all the shirts. And I think I told Pat, I was like, what color is volume 4 gonna be?
Yes,
Like
I
I
want
am
to
waiting for
go.
that reveal
I
to come.
know. I know.
So that is awesome. Now, the other young ladies, do you know any of the other young ladies? I know you said y'all had a mutual friend, but anyone that's already a part of, you know?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope. No one else that I personally know is a part of this. Yep.
Okay. So this is
Um,
going to be interesting for you.
yes, very, very.
I will say all of the ladies are so loving, so caring. It is definitely going to be a great experience once y'all get further along in the process.
Hmm.
How do you feel about this process that you uh, sharing your story with others? I know when Patty did volume 4, we had so many uh I'm gonna call them queen moments because people were literally saying for the first time in years things that they were going
Hmm.
to be sharing in their book, and to actually say it out loud, it was like, whoa. It's a difference
Yeah.
with writing in a journal.
Right.
It's a
Yes.
different, it's
Yeah.
all of those probing questions that Patty asked us in reference to why, why are we doing this? Why are we writing now? It was just a overwhelm of emotions. And so now I just want to do the same thing to you. Um, um, I want to know your why. Tell us your why for. I know you said you seen it on Facebook and you was like, this is I always wanted to write my book, but what type of book? I hear people say that a lot. I always wanted to write a book. Fiction, nonfiction. You like literally tell a story of personal, or you have a story that you want to tell that you made up. So how are you feeling and come to with doing the work for your chapter?
I feel exposed.
Good word.
You know, it's,
Good word.
yeah, I
Okay.
feel vulnerable about it.
Yeah.
Um, but it's something that I know will help another queen. I know it's something that will inspire someone else. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To take the same steps, um, to
Wow.
go a different direction, to believe in themselves. You know,
Hmm.
so that's why I'm doing it, because I want to help. I feel like I'm a healer at heart. Like I want to help other women heal, and
Okay.
yeah.
That
So
is
this,
amazing.
thank you,
That is
thank you.
amazing. So in writing, right? Are you like writing or are you typing?
I am writing. Yes, I
So
am. It's something. It's just something about writing for
the
me
pen
that
to
just
paper.
yes, the pen to
Mhm.
the paper it just makes
Yep.
it all so more real,
Mhm.
and then the fact that I don't type like I used to also. When I was in the corporate world, I was just typing away. But it's definitely something about sitting and then just putting the pen to the paper and just
Okay.
while you're the downloads and the remembrance is flowing through you. It's just something about writing.
Because
Yeah.
that's my next question. As you're writing and and putting your uh thoughts to this paper when wanting to share your story, have you had moments of, okay, I'm not gonna tell this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
So how did you get through those moments? Because to all of my listeners who thinking about writing, who may have a story that they want to tell that's a personal story, I I don't think I've met any author yet that has shared their personal story that has not had that moment. And so
Right.
how do we deal with that moment of, we here, we got the pen, and we, because we can recall is here, and then
Right.
it's like, oh, I don't want to share that.
Right. Yeah.
What do
Or
you do
if
at that moment?
right. You have to, I guess, see what is the point in that story that is most I guess that's going to really stick out. What is the point that you're trying to make? And is that point just about you or does it involve someone else? You know what I mean? Yeah, and I just looked at an interview that you and Patty did too on your page,
Yeah.
and what you said really resonated with me about like this similar question. I think you went to speak to your parents about some things that you were going to write in your book,
Yeah.
right? So I come across that same thing, and it was just like, okay, this isn't just about you. Like this is about other people too. So you gotta consider,
And you gonna be like,
how
yay, get my book.
right. Like,
You're
hold
like, wait,
up,
what?
right? I don't quite remember it like that, but
Okay. Yep.
so it's just like, okay, maybe I should have this conversation so it's not like a surprise piece, for whoever else may be, concerned in that. Hmm.
And
Yeah.
one thing I always ask people, because you mentioned that you were married, so when you decided that you wanted to do this and you went
Hmm.
to your husband, you said, "Hey, I'm gonna be a part of this book," or however you pitched it to him. Um,
Right.
did it the heaviness prior to saying and then saying? Did you feel any like relief from letting your husband know, I'm about to be a part of this, and then it's like, all right, I got to do it now. I'm doing it. I'm another step above where I was before, because you said I always wanted to,
Right.
you just haven't, and it was something that held you
Hmm.
from doing so. And so
Hmm.
now folks know
Yeah.
that you're about to write this chapter. How does that feel for you?
It feels a little bit scary, I'll say. A little bit nervous about it, but at the same time, it feels liberating too.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like, I have a story to tell like everyone else does. So, I'm not going to be ashamed of my story, you
Right.
know. Why be ashamed of my story and just hold on to it when it can help someone else? But when I told him that I was going to write the book, I think he was mostly worried about like, well, what are you going to write about?
So, well, let's talk about this now. What? What you gonna say? What you gonna say now? What you gonna say? Because we all know. Because I know when I said that to my husband, he was like, "Oh, okay." And then it was like, "Well, what is your part about?"
Exactly. Exactly.
Because you're not married for these many years without going through something. And
Absolutely.
so
Hmm.
it's like all right, now what?
Yeah.
What you finna
Yeah.
say? I was like, my story. He
Hmm.
was like,
Hmm.
well, what story? Do I know it? And so he has definitely been a big support for me, and I know yours will as well. But it's like, how do you have these conversations? Because I have 4 children, and saying, hey, I'm about to be a part of this. Did you bring your family, in this prior to, okay, I'm going forward?
Hmm.
And could that or would that have been a hindrance if somebody be like, well, just make sure you don't talk about me. Make sure you don't say my name.
Right.
How was that for you? Did you bring everybody in at first and say, this is what I'm doing? What are your thoughts? Or it was more like, hey, y'all, look, I'm doing this.
The latter. It was like, I decided to do this,
And this
you
is what I'm
know, and this is what I'm doing.
okay.
So, yes. So,
Okay.
like, please support. If not, then you'll get over it eventually.
Right. Because then, you get cousins calling and stuff, be like, when we was little, I didn't really mean to take your bubble gum. All that stuff start coming.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Because
Don't be trying to apologize 40 years later because you think I'm gonna bring you up.
right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. People like, wait a minute, she about to do what? Man, hold up. You know, what? You was really my favorite cousin. All
Yes.
all that stuff. And so it is definitely one of those things where you have so many women that want to share, but either out of fear, um,
Hmm.
because of what they have to say, because normally sharing a story don't only involve self.
Right.
It
Right.
involves others. And
Hmm.
so being comfortable enough, I guess, to involve others, um, but still having that fear of this might not be a good idea, not knowing that it can definitely help someone else. And I think that was the goal for Patty, just getting stories of other women to help other women.
Yes.
And it has
Yes.
been amazing so far. And even when she put the call out for volume 4, I was really amazed to just see women still saying, hey, I want to be a part of this. Hey, I want to
Really.
be a part. Because when we
Hmm.
did volume 1, and we met in Delaware, it was like, okay, we got to do a volume 2, because it was still women saying, I didn't know. I got a
They
story.
want to tell their story
Yeah,
too.
you know,
Yeah. Hmm.
it was like, oh wow. So volume 2 came in, from, I think we started 2020 volume 1. And so from 2020 to 2023, and to see that, a
Hmm.
volume 4 is going to take
Wow.
place, then
Yeah.
it is just like, wow.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's like, look at God,
You're right.
right?
And, and the
Yes.
crazy thing is, I can see the growth
Hmm.
in each book, meaning the growth from our visionary leader, Miss Patty, like just to see the different book covers in the format of the book.
Mm.
It has definitely been a journey, and for you to be upcoming co-author for volume 4, and you just take a moment to go and look at volume 1, and
Yes.
you will see
Yes.
yourself like, wow, these ladies have come a long way. you
Hmm.
know um
Hmm.
I am so, again, pleased that you did answer the call, because again, so many of us will say, eh, out of fear.
Out of
Out of
fear.
fear,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we have women that once people say yes, 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 and then Patty do the big Zoom call and we get in
Hmm.
depth with those questions that she had to make all of us feel uncomfortable. Uh, then people be like, ooh, no,
Yeah. Second guessing themselves. Hmm.
right. And
Yeah.
so, um, even those who wanted to do it will second guess themselves. So did you experience that after getting on that uncomfortable Zoom call? Because you were like me. I got on the Zoom call not knowing nobody.
Hmm. Hmm.
Absolutely not nobody. Me and Patty weren't friends. We weren't even mutual friends. I don't even know how I even got in her group.
Really? Wow.
I just
It
been a
was meant to be.
yeah, I was
You
like,
was
I didn't even know I was a part of this group, to be honest.
wow.
And then, going through that process. So, did you
Hmm.
ever have a moment of getting on that Zoom and it being uncomfortable and saying, you know what, maybe next time?
Yes, I did because initially, the story that I was going to tell was different. It was a little bit more emotional for
Okay,
me. So, um, with the thought of putting that out, initially I was like, well, hold up, I don't know. Maybe this is not the right time. Just going back to like trying to talk myself out of it. Maybe
right,
this is not the right time, or maybe I can tell my story a little bit differently. And then I was just like, you know what? No, I have another. We all have stories,
yes,
right? So I'm like,
right.
I'll just share another part of my story that isn't as emotional. You know what I mean? For
This,
the
yeah,
first time, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
definitely understand that because a lot of people we mask well, and
hmm,
a lot of times we bury things and memories that happen, and then with writing, because you are now thinking about your story and you're putting it out there on paper, is things that you might have thought you healed from, you haven't quite
yeah,
healed from them. And
hmm,
so you just buried them, and it
hmm,
wasn't, you didn't heal from them, you just brushed it to the side. And so now trying to share those words is getting real jumbled and it's feeling overwhelming, and you feel that pressure because you haven't quite healed from it. And so I did have a young lady. She was so interested. She purchased the book from me, and she was so interested in writing. And she said, she was like, I can't, I have not been able to say my story without crying. So I know I'm probably not ready yet to actually deal with it being out there, because one thing about it, um, once it's out there,
right. You can't
you
take it
can,
back.
you can't take
Mm,
it back, and you can get questions.
yeah,
so,
yeah. Hmm.
so
Hmm.
you know can you really, stand up and stand in your story and be able to, share it successfully without breaking down? And she admits, she was like, I'm not there. I am not there. And so, but she has read and purchased every volume,
Really.
1, 2, and 3. And she see the different authors,
Hmm.
so I think it is totally amazing. Um, how do how do you, I guess, uh organize your time from, I'm going to sit down and work on my chapter, I'm an entrepreneur. I got my schedule. I'm a grandma. I'm a wife. How is that working for you? Because it's deadlines with this book thing now. Do y'all still work with
Right.
Dominique? Miss Dominique?
Yes, yes,
Okay, and she be
yes.
like, look now. Just a second reminder. I'm coming. I'm coming. Um, so how do you organize that? How do you maneuver that?
Um, my handy dandy calendar. I have to actually pencil in, time that I'm going to be able to sit down and write. And it's usually late. It's usually later at night or early in the morning. I think that's when I operate best.
Okay.
Yeah, late at night where I'm not being bothered, or very early in the morning. But yeah, organization, I would say it wasn't. I'm gonna say was not one of my strong suits.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got it together now. You good now.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'm getting better. Say that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, because I know it, it can get you adding something that needs your full attention to your
Mhm.
day.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
that could get kind of hectic within itself. But understanding that this is what you want to do, so you make time for it. And like you said, you either do early morning or
Mhm.
late night, and those must be your peace times.
Yes.
Your
Yes.
your times where you're not bothered. Your
Exactly.
phone is not ringing and dinging and all of that stuff. So those
Mhm.
are your down times where you're able to just release
Yes.
your thoughts. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, that I mean, I didn't have that. Like I just in the middle of the day, if I had a thought, it was like, oh, jotting things down. Um,
Mhm.
and so I had like a, a notebook with just stuff. And then I'll go back and type it in. See, I typed my stuff up.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I didn't fully write everything,
Mhm.
which I wanted to, but then it was like it just got real just messy because I could not keep up with my own thoughts.
Mm.
Write them down. So I would jot down a thought, which and then I'll go back to it and be able to get on my computer and type it up. And so for to hear you say I actually write is like, oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
And the funny thing is, like, I had no idea, like, that spark that would ignite in me with this. But it's just like when I sit down and I start writing, like, I have to make myself stop.
I was
Like,
like, don't stop.
yeah, I had to make myself stop. And I'm just like, what? You got 12? Like, slow down a little bit, you know?
Right.
Yeah, but
Wow.
yeah,
Well, so at that point, you are ready for your own book. Like you have so much more beyond your chapter to
hmm
share. And
hmm
so even with doing that, this is like the step for you to be able to, you know what, now I'm going to do my own book. And a lot of authors have done that. A lot of co-authors have done, they was a part of a co-author collaboration, and then they was like, you know what, I got more to say. I got more.
yeah, it just kind of breaks the ice for you,
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
more. And
yeah.
it beyond my chapter,
hmm
because even with doing chapters, you still got a limit,
hmm
you know, and so you can't go beyond that limit because you have several other authors. But when you have your own, it's no limit. And so are you preparing for the no limit?
I am. I'm preparing for the no
Wow.
limit. Yeah, I have other ideas. I want to kind of step into fiction. I have ideas with books for my grandkids, and
Yeah.
yeah, yes,
Oh, yes. You are ready.
yeah,
You are ready. Wow. Okay. I mean,
yeah.
and this is how it starts. This
hmm
is how it starts. And I think that it is a cool thing. Um, I've read books where I've seen it was one or two author, well, two or three authors.
Mhm.
But never ever did I ever think I would be a part of a collaborative book. But
Right.
it is so, I think for those who want to write or have a story to share, I think this is a cool step to take first
I agree. Mhm.
before actually indulging in your own, because I've learned so much. I'm pretty sure you've learned so much, and you still got a little bit of ways to go. And
Mhm.
so um it's going to be so much that come the knowledge that's going to come to you, and being able to have those Zoom calls and talk to other ladies and know that you're not alone in feeling like, whoa, some people might feel overwhelmed. Some people are, everybody is scared. I'm not gonna say some. Everybody
Everybody. Mhm.
is scared. And
Mhm.
even when I did it the second time, I was just as scared the second time as I was the first time. So it it doesn't make a difference. But being able
Mhm.
to literally have other women to hold your hand and y'all just kind of get through it together. I think this is an awesome first step. And so congratulations to you again, because
Thank you.
you doing it.
I
You
am. Thank
doing it.
you.
You are doing it. And before you know it, it's gonna be like, oh my God, we at the launch. Oh my God. That's what
Like I'm really in the book published. Like wow.
yes, like, oh, and when you see your name, it's gonna be like, oh my God, that's
I
me.
know.
This is
Yeah.
my childhood. This is, and even it really got real for me once Dominique was like, finalized. This is the
Mhm.
final.
Mhm.
This final. We got the email and the big words final. And it was like, oh, all right, so we done. Okay. All right. And then it was like, make sure your name's spelled correctly. Okay, we getting somewhere. And then it was like, boom, rough draft. Here's the book. Ah! That's what we've been doing all this time.
Yeah.
But it is amazing. And so
Mhm.
what words, if anything, would you share with someone who was sitting in your place before, thinking about, I do have a story. I could share my story. I don't really know how to go about this, or even should I. Like, what words of encouragement would you have for someone else?
Everyone has a story.
Mhm.
Every story deserves to be heard. Um, there are other people out here that can relate to your story. They can relate to your pain,
Yes.
and they can also relate to, how you bounce back. And people need to hear it. They need to know that they're not alone. They need to know that there are other people out here, if there are resources being shared, information being shared, that there are people out here that can support you. You know what I mean? And that can relate to the person that you are and the person that you want to be. And your story deserves to be heard. That's what
Awesome.
I say. Hmm.
Awesome. 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 Well, we definitely have something to look forward to. Um, is there a date yet for the drop of volume 4? Is it?
The date, I believe, oh, don't quote me. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I want to say March.
Okay.
I want to say
Okay.
March. Not
Okay.
100, not 100. Don't quote me, but I think I heard it right there.
Tentatively, we gonna go with March, y'all. Volume 4 dropping.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, March. I have the paper right in front of me. Duh. It should be published by potential publishing time. Final. Yeah, around March.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys listen, you guys have to stay tuned, be on the lookout for Hold the Line Volume 4. I am excited myself. I'm not a part of Volume 4, but I am truly excited to see this volume. I can't wait to get the color. I got to go back and order all my shirts. All that stuff. I got to put it out there. Look, I'm missing 3 shirts now. I need um, but stay tuned, guys, because I promise you, just like Miss Vichelle said, everyone has a story, and you never know what someone else went through. And the thing is, if someone else went through it and they were able to get through it, then that's what we want to hear. We want to know, how did you get through this? Because sometimes we don't have the answers. And if we can connect with someone who's been through it and say, you know what, girl, this is what I did. It could help you. Maybe it'll help you, but just being able to get back to having those conversations, you're able to read someone's story and say, you know what? I've tried everything but this.
Mhm,
I might
mhm,
need to try this and see if it helped me. I know in the book it have awesome resources. Volume
yeah.
1 and 2 have awesome resources. Um so y'all listen, y'all got to go get the book. What is it? Out of the Ashes.
Mhm,
Go and get the book, you guys. Hold the Line, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and upcoming Volume 4. We will see Miss Michelle again when she walking on the red carpet. And because let me tell you something, honey. You was at the launch, you know, Patty gives a show. Okay, it is
yes.
nothing.
It was amazing. It was really nice.
It
Yes.
is nothing less of
Yes.
grand.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yes.
you are definitely going to feel like $1,000,000. You're gonna feel like, you know what? I just sold 1,000 gazillion books already. Here I go. Get your wave. You know, practice, chat, practice. Because I know I was practicing when I went to Delaware, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, people gonna be coming up to my table. How I'm gonna be like, hey, hey, hey." Like I was like,
Signing autographs and stuff like
listen. I went and bought a pen, and I was like, "Oh, I don't really like this pen. I got another pen." Yes, you gotta, you know, pr- get it right. Get it
get your
right.
signature right. Yes.
It is going to be so much fun, man. It's going to be so
Yes.
much fun. And again,
Mhm.
I thank you so much for just giving us a snippet on what this fitting to look like for you, how you come to join on this journey, even a little bit about yourself. You are awesome. I mean,
Thank you.
being busy is an understatement for what I know. The things that you do on a daily basis of being a loctician alone. Okay. So yes, and I'm gonna have to make sure I keep you in mind when I'm in the Delaware area.
Yes.
Cause honey,
Yes.
and then we gonna have to talk, cause y'all, I don't know if you did not catch the beginning of this interview, go back and catch the beginning. Miss Vichelle got products, y'all, for our locks. If you have is it for natural hair and locks or just
Yes. It's natural hair and locks. Yes.
so
Yep.
natural hair and locks, y'all?
Yes.
You gonna have to get with the products. Do you have a website or do you have
Well, my website is actually being built right now,
okay?
but you can order from me right now. I take orders on Facebook and Instagram. You
So
can
you have
message
a
or
page?
DM me. Hmm? I
Do you
do.
have a business
I
page?
have a business page. It's Locks of Love by Vichelle LLC on Facebook and on Instagram.
So that's Locks of Love.
Hmm.
Back.
By Vichelle. Yes.
Okay. And LLC is on that.
LLC is on it. Yep.
All right, y'all. I'm definitely going to put this up in the comments so you guys can go and make sure you follow and support Miss Vichelle. I'm definitely going to have to check out these products, girl, because hydration is what we need out here
Yes, we
in this
do.
desert with all the sand and the heat.
Well,
So
I will hook you
I
up and send you some.
yes, yes. I'm definitely gonna have to get some products for you. So, all right, y'all. That is it. Anything else you want to share with those listening and tuning in, or will catch the replay?
Oh, nothing more that I have to share. I thank you guys for watching the interview and tuning in. I
Yes. Other
appreciate it.
than look, go follow. She's on Facebook
Yes,
and Instagram.
yes.
Locks of Love by Vichelle. That's Vichelle. Go follow her now, y'all. All right, guys. Until I come face the camera again. See you guys later.
All
Peace.
right. Peace, Letitia.